So I thought I'd get the moldings off of this back quarter panel and start working on my wire frame for those fender flares. Well, Barney's checking on my work. But yeah, it's just 3 bolts on that one, pops off. This one, I got my heat gun out and some little plastic pry bar scraper things, and went to kick that on. And that thing's barely getting hot, so I just kind of got my pry bar back in there a little ways so that I maybe about halfway through that molding there and kind of pried some of the adhesive away, and then I just gave it a yank because I think I was warping that bottom of that molding anyway. So kind of felt bad. Probably ruined a perfectly good molding, but got it off of there. Might do something different when it's all said and done anyway. But yeah, I think the heat gun has to go and get replaced. Dang it. Alright, so I wanted to show this. So this is that wire frame that I made to kind of mimic like the lip of a Fender. So I think you can kind of see it here. So then I went to put it up against the car, kind of where I think it should be. So it should hang out past the lip of the fender here. Or the lip of the fender, the width of the tire here. And my wire form kind of lines up with the quarter panel there. But, well, I made this lip so it's straight up and down this way, not thinking that, well, once it's on the car, it'll curl in. But, so I got a little work to do here. So I want to figure out how I'm really going to mount this to the car if I want it. So I have a fender flare that kind of like flares out from the bottom of the body. Maybe I want to build it out so that it's out a little. Barney, you're in front of the camera, bud. I don't know if I want to build it so that it's a little bit out from the body and kind of have the same curvature this way as the body. But I got a little bit of work to do here. After I did all that work to weld this together, now I'm kind of wishing I would have just started out with one wire form and then put the other one up to mimic the lip of the fender. So I got a little bit of thinking and working here to do, but I think I got a pretty good start here because I want it, I think, kind of down here. So I'll build the flare up so it's a little bit above where the original body flared out from. So I think that'll be a little bit steep for a fender flare, although that would look kind of cool, I think, to kind of come off of where this original lip was. I got some thinking to do here. That would make it look more aggressive if I have it out like this. It'll look a little more muted and maybe not as noticeable. A little more subtle. Yeah, I got some work to do here. But I do think I want to build it out a little bit from the quarter down here. So I'll probably get this so that it kind of curves in with the body a little bit or something down there, especially with how it is behind the tire. It seems to curl under more than it does here up on the close to the rocker. All right, so that's kind of where my thought process is right now. And we'll see what I come up with. I might have to bend some new wire or something that fits up with this a little bit better. Probably start out with a single wire. Suppose that's another thought too, just no. No. I want it to kind of follow the curvature of the body a little bit. I don't know why this is so far off. Well, once you get it dropped down close to the tire, it matches the body there. Yeah, it's going to have to come out a little bit. maybe that's what I need to do, is just have it bow. A lot of different curves there though. Alright, so I'm going to do some more playing and tweaking and see what I come up with here. Alright, so I did some playing around with my little wire form wheel arch here. And I kind of like how it's looking, at least at this point, well, other than that lip comes in too much. But as you can see there, kind of hangs up past the tire. I actually like the angle that that tapes at for mimicking a Fender flare. But what I'm not happy with is, I hope you can see it good here on the camera, but it's almost like this is too squared off here, like the wheel arch comes too far forward and then starts to bend down, so it almost looks too squared off, and it's ahead of where that wheel opening is. So I'm gonna have to do some tweaking around. The back doesn't look quite as bad, but the front, I don't know what's up with that, because everything I made here is all drawn off of tracing the Fender. So it's kind of odd to me that it's that far off. But I don't know, maybe I don't have things kind of set up there right. But I might do some more playing around. Like, I like how it looks right now. Just kind of a nice straight arch up. But I might do some playing around and like block that off of the body about an inch. And just to see how that kind of changes the look of things. May I want more Fender kind of hanging out in front of the tire there, or more like a flare or something there. But see how it looks from the rear here. I haven't looked at that yet. But yeah, that could definitely use a little more flare hanging out, I think. Like it could even come out about 1.5 inches, 2 inches at the bottom here. I think that would look pretty cool. It would look really cool like this, just starting right at the bottom of the body and coming straight up. So I might do some playing around and see what it can do. See how things change a little bit. Like I said, it does look pretty cool the way it is there. So here it is with 1.5 inch space there on the bottom. So I got that block of wood turned sideways. And just kind of looking at it, I think it kind of pushes that bottom out too far. So it almost looks too vertical next to the body, in my opinion. Doesn't look bad, but I think it's I just think it's too much. Too much poke out there at the bottom, so that it looks a little bit too vertical. I don't think it'll follow that curve of the body where it's below the body molding there. But it would be nice. It looks like it cover up quite a bit of that tire. But I think I might have some other ideas percolating in this big old noggin of mine. But I think I've come to the conclusion just looking at this, even for a minute here, maybe 1 inch poke there at the bottom would be about perfect. And well, for the Fender flare, and then maybe have it kind of follow the curve of the body a little bit. And then in the back here too, where it kind of curves under a little bit quicker. But I might do some playing around here and figuring that out too. And I'm starting to wonder here too, like here you can see, again, I think it shows up a little bit more. It looks like this back fender arch angles too far ahead, causing it to really push it ahead on the front there. So I think what I need to do is kind of take that wheel arch that I've made out of wire form there and kind of push it back. But maybe I will reshape it a little. It almost seems like you have too much gap in this area here. So maybe we'll reshape that a little bit, play around with that. But now I got a little more scope creep. I'm getting an idea for some ground effects, which means more work for me. But I'll kind of think about this idea a little more and then come back to it.